see all the other kids out here. I screamed at them for hours, and they always ignored me.
See, again, you see stuff from one perspective, and it's skew your vision a little bit. You thought you were screaming for help, and they were ignoring you, and everyone hated you. Turns out that they actually didn't even know you were in there in the first place.
Through here when I broke out, but I don't remember. This is a bad place.
Yeah, what was the chair with the restraints on it definitely makes it seem like it's a bad place. Restraints are one thing, but is the neck collar really necessary? Who were they trying to restrain, Mr. Fantastic?
Entry 1054, Telton facility. The latest iteration of Pergnum went poorly. Subjects 1, 4, and 6 died. No biotic change among the survivors. We lowered core temperatures of surviving subjects, but no biotically beneficial reactions occurred. As a side effect, all subjects died. So we'll not try that on Zero. I hope our supply of biotic potential subjects holds up. We are going through them fast.
This is bullshit. They weren't experimenting on the other children for my safety.
You can't help what they did to others.
You don't get it, Shepard. I survived this place because I was tougher than the rest. That's who I am.
You move on, harder and tougher.
Yeah! Sterling speech. Kind of a quick Sterling speech. You'd figure after someone's Shepard couldn't move then, that was really weird. You'd think after someone's entire childhood has almost been rewritten, like everything that they thought was true has now been completely turned on its head. You would have thought Shepard would have had a bit more of a long stirring speech about, how you move on harder and tougher. Be the person you've become. Yada yada yada, all that sort of good stuff. And he's like, Jack, we move on, get over it, love.
This should come in handy.
Wow, Shepard's gone Paragon, but throwing in a little bit of Renegade to spice it up.
It's all fallen to pieces. The subjects are rampaging and Zero is loose. We're shutting Telton down. What a disaster. We'll infiltrate and piggyback onto the Alliance's Ascension program. Hopefully, that will give... What? Zero, wait!
Shepard, they started up somewhere else.
Ascension is an Alliance program. It's a school for biotic kids. They don't torture children there.
A lot of this isn't the way I remember it.
See, it's one of those things, is would you rather it be the way you remembered it, or are you feeling even worse knowing that it wasn't actually as bad as you remembered it, but you've been living your whole life thinking it was?
There was a lot going on.
I was dumb. I keep my eyes open now, and I always shoot first. We're getting close to my cell, the place I came from. Let's keep going.
Okie pokey, you lead the way. While Miranda runs through crates. And by you lead the way, I mean I'm going to just instinctively know where to go and you're going to follow me.
Hey, Aresh. It's Kieran. Yeah, the intruders are here. You want them dead? We have to talk creds. You promised us lots of salvage, but this place is a waste. Fine, we'll put them down. Then I'm coming in there and we're gonna talk salvage.
What are you doing here?
First we're gonna kill you, then we'll see. Kill him on my order.
Well, I'm not exactly sure if that's something that I can get on board with. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is, if you want to go and hit a pull on that one for me, Jack, and Miranda, you can just go ahead and do a nice little, what's it called, slam on that. And I think I'm going to switch out to the cane. It's time things go boom. No! Things can't go boom, because for some reason this thing isn't fully loaded. See, that's what I meant when I said that the cane can sometimes be hit and miss. Oh dear. Alright, let's get in a little bit close and personal. Let's hit a reeve on that guy.
We outnumber and outgun all.
Yep, somehow that's still not going to stop me. Oh great, now the cane's going to constantly just do that weird reloading thing. Hey! None of that.
Tighten up. I want suppression and I want it now.
Whoever it was who shot that Krogan when he was in the air, I appreciate it. Miranda, hit a warp on this one for me. Thank you.
Can't reach the target.
Yes, you can hit the target. Shepard, what is wrong with you recently? Boom! And Miranda, if you could hit him with the good stuff again. Boom! Oh, I wanted to hit him off, finish him off with a punch as well.
Only room left is my old cell. Whoever Arash is in there. I want to plant the bomb there anyway. Might as well do it on his corpse.
Sorry, I didn't mean to open this up just then. I wasn't aware that this was going to be a little hack game. If so, I wouldn't have done it and sort of gone over Jack's speech then. I thought it was just a simple case of picking up credits. But yeah, I've never really, like, as I said, I don't really use the cane too much. It's good for every now and then if you want to make things go boom. But I've never really been quite sure how this thing is supposed to work. See, look, there it says 43. You need it to be 100% for it to work. But I'm not honestly sure how you get it to 100%. And then once you've used it and it goes back down to, like, 0 or whatever. There is something around here. I know there's something else around here. I'm not exactly sure how it reloads and stuff like that. I honestly have no idea. The cane has always been a big old mystery to me, but when you do use it, things go boom and it's beautiful.
Come out. We know you're here.
Who are you?
My name is Arash, and you're breaking into my home. I know you, Subject Zero. So many years have passed, and I thought I was the only survivor.
My name is Jack. How the hell do you know me?
We all knew your face, Jack. They inflicted horrors on us so their experiments wouldn't kill you. You were the question, and I'm still looking for the answer.
Looks like you're not the only one pulled back here, Jack.
I tried to forget this, but a place like this, it doesn't forget you. It follows you. I hired these mercs and came back almost a solar year ago. We're rebuilding it piece by piece. I'm gonna find out what they knew, how to unlock true biotic potential in humans. I'm restarting the Telton facility. It will be beautiful.
I wanted a hole in the ground. He's trying to justify what happened by using it?
You'd do the same thing to new kids? Wasn't this forced on you?
Some were bought from poor families on Earth or kidnapped from colonies. Most ended up here the way I did. Batarian pirates. They did such horrible things to us. They must have had good reasons.
There's no reason good enough. Are you nuts? You lived it.
Exactly. It's like one of those things when people are captured or like taken as hostages, and in the end they begin to side with their hostage takers. It's kind of like that. He feels that all the hardships he's been through have to be for a reason, otherwise they're for nothing.
This place was like a prison. How did you get out?
We all attacked at once as they were taking us to the lab. They would have put us down. But then Jack got loose. When I came to, it was over. The guards, the scientists, and the kids were all dead. And you were gone.
I stopped it. All of it. Maybe the others did have it bad, but what you're doing is just messed.
Everything we went through must have been worth something.
We can blow up the place, but that still leaves him. What do we do with another you?
That's easy.
Just leave me here. This is where I belong.
Fuck that.
Jack, he's trapped in his past. You need to move on from yours.
He wants to restart this place. He needs to die.
He's crazy, and he's never gonna restart this facility. You have to let it go. Your past doesn't have to control you.
Fuck. Get out of here. Go. He's not worth chasing. None of it is.
You did the right thing, Jack.
Maybe. This room was my whole childhood. Give me a minute to look around.
Go ahead.
Nothing's changed, but it's all different.
It's definitely a good idea to make Jack have a good old look around this place. Just gives you a bit more insight into the backstory of Jack.
I used this table for everything. It was like my best friend. I'd crawl under it to cry. I was pathetic.
Although, there wasn't really that much unique dialogue bringing Miranda here, so maybe she wasn't exactly the best choice. It seems a bit hokey having Jack open up her heart and soul in front of the very person she hates, but oh well.
Sometimes I dream that I'm back in this bed being tortured. I used to tie the sheets around my wrists and try to rip them off. I want to stop coming back here.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be giving you a tour of the place then. It's probably not helping your psyche at all.
I thought that room out there was the rest of the world. I'd pound and yell. Never did any good. See the scarring on the wall here? That's where I killed my first man. One of the guards tried to stop me. Instead, I stopped him. Okay, no more wallowing. Let's blow this place to hell.
You would have thought they'd wait until they were a little bit more out of range instead of risking it like that, but hey-oh. The facility on Pragia confirmed destroyed. Concerned that previous cleanup crew failed to destroy all records. Surviving facility scientists already dead either from uprising or after facility shutdown. Jack should have no further emotional issues distracting her from the mission. Oh, so even though they were taking their test a little bit further than the elusive man knew, or at least it led us on to believe he knew. He did a little bit of a clean-up of his own, as it says there, or facility shutdown. So I'm guessing he went around and killed all the remaining scientists. But anyway, we've got new power, some warp ammo from Jack, and a new outfit for Jack as well, which I don't like because it covers her up more. But anyway.
I'll deal with it.
Take pictures.
Touch me and I will smear the walls with you, bitch!
Enough! Stand down, both of you.
The cheerleader won't admit what Cerberus did to me was wrong.
It wasn't Cerberus. Not really. But clearly you were a mistake.
Screw you! You've got no idea what they put me through. Maybe it's time I showed you.
Our mission is too important to let personal feelings get in the way.
Fuck your feelings. I just want her dead.
You both know what we're up against. Save your anger for the collectors.
I can put aside my differences. Until the mission's over.
Sure, I'll do my part. I'd hate to see her die before I get a chance to fillet her myself.
You two gonna be okay?
It's a good thing you came by when you did. As long as she does her job, we'll be fine. Thanks, Shepard.
Don't play the good girl act with me, Miranda. You're just as much to blame. Yeah, Jack overreacts, but you push her buttons too. Don't deny that you don't. But anyway, that little argument that happened there between Jack and Miranda is actually something that has caused quite a lot of controversy sometimes throughout the game. Why not mingle with the crew? Why I mention this? I don't really say hello to you guys, do I? Random crewman. Hey, how you doing? Standing by the water fountain, are we? See, you've run out of cups there. I could go get some for you. Loosen your tongues a little bit. Nope. No, okie dokie. But anyway, that little scene there with Jack and Miranda is something that quite a lot of people get a little bit confused over, because if you don't have enough... let's bring up the squad thing so you can have a look. If you don't have enough Renegade or Paragon points at that particular point, as you can see my Paragon is full there, you don't have, obviously, the Paragon or Renegade option won't come up. It'll be greyed out like the Renegade one was for me. And then at that point, you either have to choose sides. We'll either choose side of Miranda or choose side of Jack. And by doing that, it results in you losing the loyalty for whichever one you don't choose. So saying now I've done both Jack and Miranda's loyalty missions, if I chose Jack, for example, Miranda, then I would lose loyalty for her. You do later on have an option in the conversation to get that loyalty back, but it completely loses any romance options, like abilities that you may have had with either one of them. But still, you need enough higher Renegade or Paragon points to be able to regain that loyalty again. But the thing that centres around the confusion is where you see that Paragon bar on the left. That's 100% right now, yet you can still not have the option to use the Paragon speech on them two at that particular situation. And the reason why that is I just quickly want to go in and sort of say this, just because I think it's something you need to know before you do the Jack loyalty mission, is it's not based on your Paragon or Renegade bars. What it's actually based on is a morality system, which is built into Mass Effect 2. And what that basically states is you need to have either 70% Paragon or 70% Renegade morality as opposed to how filled up your bar is. And what I mean by that is, at the point in the game where you are, say for example, there'll be 500 situations or 500 points you can gain, which will fill up your Paragon bar. Well, at the point in the game you're at, you may have, say for example, 1,000 Paragon points that you could have achieved, and you've achieved 700. Well, then when you get to that speech conversation, you'll be able to do the Paragon option because you are at 70% of the possible Paragon options you could have got. Say then you wait until later on in the game to do the Jack mission, and by this point there was now 1,500 chances to get Paragon points, and you were still only at 700. Well, by that point you could still have a full Paragon bar, but you now have less than 70% of the possible Paragon points you could have gained. So that means that then now the Paragon option would not be available. So that's why there's some confusion, why sometimes you can have a full Paragon bar or a full Renegade bar and yet the option is still greyed out. So basically just it could be argued that doing the Jack loyalty mission would be a good idea to do it sooner rather than later, just because at that point it means there have been less options for Paragon or Renegade choices, which means there's a higher chance you're going to have built up a higher percentage of morality by that point. Whereas whether you leave it later, instead of only having 500 like total Paragon points, you could have a possible 2,000, just throwing out random numbers. So if you don't quite understand, then feel free to like ask me in the comments or something like that. I can explain it probably in a little bit more depth. But basically, if your Paragon or Renegade bar is full, that probably helps a lot, but that's not actually the deciding factor. It more depends on how many overall Paragon choices you've chose throughout the entire game, as opposed to Renegade ones. So that's basically the thing. If you look online, if you look on the BioWare sort of social forums, stuff like that, you can find a lot of developers have actually written down the actual general stats for it and stuff like that. But basically, if you're going around for the entire game and you have only picked Renegade or you only picked Paragon, then you're fine. Or if you've only chosen the other one once or twice, then you should be fine. But if you haven't, then you might want to sort of leave the mission for a while longer and then go along and just pick a load of just Renegade or just Paragon choices, just so you know you've definitely built that up. Because obviously if you lose one of their loyalty, there is a good chance that bad things can happen as the games go on. But anyway, I've got enough points, I figured seeing why I was on the screen, to update my incendiary ammo. So what you got is Inferno, which makes it sort of just a big, massive fireball, which they sort of explain it like that, but I've never really seemed to notice it. But squad incendiary, that's what we want. Basically means as soon as I put on incendiary ammo, my entire squad also has incendiary ammo. Which, to be honest, is just something that is fantastic, and I don't see why you wouldn't want that. Whatever your damage your gun would do, it's now times by 3, because you've got your 2 other squad mates doing it too. But that is Jack's loyalty mission down. After having it out Miranda and sort of revisiting the past, she is now focused on the mission at hand, that is destroying collectors in every biotic way that she knows how. And we still, of course, have plenty more loyalty missions to do and side missions and stuff like that. So we have a long old journey ahead of us, which I will save for next time. So as always, I will catch you guys later.